Can't pass this dude. Horrible place to put your magazine shop. Don't see anything here. I gotta go down here.
Don't do that. Stop it.
Oh, Oscar.
It does.
Oh dear. Help! Help! Someone! Help! Put me down!
Oscar? Bet you can't catch it.
Don't you dare! Put it down! Right now!
All right then. Oscar!
Damn kids.
Are you all right?
I had a bit of a bumpy ride, but I am glad to see you, Kate Walker.
Oscar.
Oh, I've missed you so much.
I say, this display of emotion is most unreasonable, Kate Walker. I do hope you don't plan such profusion every time I change bodies.
It's just that I've been worrying about you. Where were you, Oscar?
Well, the mechanical instinct of my host took me for a ride, all across town. It took me the whole night to tame it, and that's when I bumped into those little rascals.
Yeah, lucky I was in the area, huh?
Quite. So, Kate Walker, what has happened since we parted at the Balaton River?
Maybe we should just sit down for a second, Oscar. This might take a while. And that's when Demoiselle Lenny gave me the address of the Music Academy in this neighborhood.
I see, Kate Walker.
You must think I'm crazy, huh? Running after that girl, Dana, who must have died ages ago.
Well, Kate Walker, you know I have difficulty understanding illogical thought patterns. But in the end, what I do understand is that you need to find her. Is that correct, Kate Walker?
Yes, that is correct, Oscar. I'm glad you're taking it so well.
I don't see any fundamental difference between crossing Europe in search of mammoths, traveling on ostriches in an irradiated zone, or following your double. These are not things an automaton such as I take into consideration.
Trying to read the board, see what I was reading, what it was saying.
Any other thoughts, Oscar?
Well, I guess I could ask you where we are heading, but truth be told, it doesn't really matter. I will follow you wherever you lead, and for as long as you require my services, Kate Walker. That's what an automaton does.
Thank you, Oscar.
Oh dear, I hope you're not going to become physical, are you?
No, I was just going to give you a pat on the back.
I would rather you refrain from having such thoughts. I am not a dog, you know. Whatever next?
Anyway, we'd better get going, Oscar, and you'd better keep out of sight.
Oh dear, I don't suppose I have any choice.
I'm so glad he's back.
Is it really necessary for me to be shut up in here, Kate Walker?
Sorry, Oscar, but I don't want to run the risk of
There
losing
you go.
you again.
I can't expect it.
Victims of the genocide committed by the fascists during the Second World War. Oh,
See if
so
maybe
many
if
deaths.
Dana's name was on there or
I hope
something.
Dana made it through.
That's what I'm trying to see, but your body's in the way. Around. Oh. What I could see, I don't see your name. Otherwise, it'd be end of game. We found her. I don't want to run. Tired of running.
An automaton musician. Looks exactly like Hans's style, like at Bohogstadt.
Store I could look at over here.
That brand was everywhere in New York when I left. And now they've even got branches here.
Can't see what it is.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, Fräulein. What can I do for you?
How come the square is so well known?
Because of the mechanical orchestra there. It used to be quite the attraction. Every year, the Academy's best student would play along with it, as did renowned musicians from around the world.
Oh, that sounds intriguing. Is it scheduled to play today?
I'm afraid not. Several years back, the town council discussed computerizing it. But the plan never went through, and no one has ever heard its music since.
That's sad.
There are a lot of tourists on the square.
Indeed. It attracts thousands of customers every year. A veritable boon for us retail shops.
And for the people of the town, too?
I wouldn't know about that. I live on the outskirts, as do most of the people. What with the rents being as high as they are here, you know?
Do you know anything about the Vaghen Music Academy?
It's the large building across the square there. Used to be quite renowned worldwide, actually.
But not anymore?
Well, from what I gather, hardly anyone studies there nowadays. I wouldn't be surprised if it were closed.
Well, what happened?
Wouldn't you know it's across the
Budget
street?
cuts from the town council, I guess. The academy can't be very lucrative.
I see. Thank you. I should go now.
Auf Wiedersehen, Fräulein. Come back again.
Happy to say. Is he the employee of the month? Is that what that is? Yeah. Joshua Denke. Outstanding performance on effort, awarded by Henry Beckenbauer, regional manager. He just left their purse there. Yeah, look anywhere I can go. Okay, let's get out. Still a baguette. Yeah, he's the only employee. I can't get out. Oh no. There it is. It's hiding in the plants. Joshua didn't want me to escape. looked at you. What's this guy got?
Wow. Pity I don't have time for some sightseeing.
Right. You don't know if it's closed. I mean, everything's boarded up, so that doesn't look good. Soon, right in front. Vaghen marks 60 years of liberation with Music Academy University celebration. Ceremony that drew hundreds of people into the streets of Vaghen culminated with the solemn tributes to the heroes of jubilant outdoor ball and musical square. Yeah, I know. Can walk right in. The friendly town. It's a friendly town. They trust everyone. Liberation took Ostertal. The renewed hope of the world, he said Mayor of Vaghen in an address at the symbolic Music Academy, where he decorated the veterans and resistance members, including Mark Thomas, Jules Marcotte, and Yvonne Clerk. Music Academy, a century old teaching establishment before the war, became the commandantur of the Brown Shadow before hosting Allied headquarters after the liberation. Upon the departure of the Allies, and thanks to finance from the Marshall Plan, it was able to recover its initial role as a place of musical learning. On a more somber note, however, that the rector of the academy concluded that the drop in number of inscriptions, along with the continued decrease... YouTube, are you acting up? Drop in the numbers of inscriptions along with the continued decrease of council grants over a period of 2 decades due to austerity policies maintained by successive councils have plunged the academy into a grave financial crisis. He warned that the academy is on the brink of bankruptcy and indicated that the closure of the academy is imminent. Vaghen's tribute to liberation was the last in the series of 60th anniversary commemorations by Astrothal's marking critical moments leading to the capitulation of the Brown Shadow at the end of the World War II. Town Council, Vaghen, Osterthal, Music Academy, Music Square, Vaghen, Osterthal, October 15th, 2005. Dear Suze, pursuant to the provisions of IRD 136.2, you are hereby given eviction notice, a notice to vacate on or before the 26th November 2005, premises owned by the Town Council of Vaghen, which premises are not occupied by you. The reason this eviction notice is failure to pay rent due to the arrears when demand pursuant of the IRD 136.4. The demand to pay rent was served upon the 15th of September 2005, and you have refused to neglected to pay rent due to a period of June 15th, 2005 through October. You are hereby notified of your right to avoid this eviction payment prior to the expiration of this notice of all arrangements. I hereby certify that on 15th of May, October 15, 2005 at 10:15 a.m. I have given gave in hand to Mr. Maximilian Mahler a true copy of the above original notice. From Wolfgang Schneider, Mayor of Vaghen.
So that's the famous Vaghen Music Academy? It's not what I was expecting.
I didn't do the introspect. Oh, I wonder if I had to go up into the where the piano was. Oh man.
It looks like the rector is desperate to reduce the costs of running the academy.
This is not a public loan. Emergency lease. Oh, okay. Supposed to know.
Guten Tag.
What now? If you're from the council, you can come back when I'm not so busy.
Oh, sorry, you startled me.
So, now what do you want? Council minion?
I'm not from the council. I'm just a visitor here. I came because I was hoping to look at the file of a student from the 1930s.
Oh. I'm sorry, It's just that I haven't time for digging up old files from 70 years ago. I have way too much to do here, you understand.
I can tell you're a little overwhelmed. Where's the rest of the staff? Or maybe a student could show me.
You are standing in front of the rector, and the only employee of this academy. My name is Maximilian Mahler, and it falls upon me to manage everything on the premises. The maintenance, the archiving, and the lot before we close next month. So, if you don't mind...
I'm very sorry to hear that the academy is closing, and I can see you're extremely busy, but I've come such a long way to see it. I'd be so grateful if you could locate it. It's really
That's
important
included.
to me.
That works. I'm busy at work then
And
too.
so is this place important to me, too. And I would love to hear the mechanical orchestra play one last time before the academy closes. But, alas, I can't, can I? Unless,
Unless what?
well, you know.
All right, then. So if I get the mechanical orchestra going, you'll get me that file, right?
Oh, of course, Fraulein. Of course.
Okay, I'll
math.
give it a try. Believe it or not, I have seen mechanisms like the one on the square before.
Well, in that case, I promise to give you the file in return for your services.
Thanks.
But I must warn you that the square has undergone some transformations over the years, and some parts of the mechanism may be difficult to get to.
Don't worry, I'll make myself thin and slide between the cracks.
You'll find some of them scattered around the square, and some of the others you'll find in the clock tower. Now, if you'll excuse me for a second.
What are you...
Now, what is the name of that student you're interested in?
Roze. Dana Roze.
And what were the years she attended our illustrious academy?
In the 30s. 1937, to be precise.
Oh, and here it is. And here you will find the annual inspection reports of the mechanisms by Frau Beckmann.
Frau Beckmann?
She was the rectress of the academy during the years you spoke of. These are from 1937. You see, I have a marvelous memory regarding archives. This is why I have chosen Frau Beckmann's, because there's something in here regarding that Edna Droz you spoke of.
Dana Roze.
Quite. You will also find some sheet music with annotations. This is the Hymn of Vaghen, which you must play on the piano on the square in order to activate the orchestra of automatons. Once you have fixed the mechanisms, of course. All right then, here you go. What are you waiting for?
This sheet music corresponds to the piano part for the Hymn of Vaghen.
Okay.
Someone's added annotations. They could help me play the hymn on the piano on the square, like the rector asked me to.
Okay.
I wonder what it's supposed to represent.
Sure.
The report that the rectoress of the academy filled in with the help of Dana back in the 30s. According to the present rector, I should find all the information I need to repair the mechanisms on the square. Music Academy Inspection Report, October 12, 1937.
Today, I was due to inspect the musical mechanisms that enable students to give a public display of their talent and enable us to showcase the quality of our teaching to the people of our beautiful town.
Act 37.
Like every year, I needed a volunteer from our students to help me during the inspection, and this year's choice was obvious.
I'm fine, really.
Well, you're looking off color, darling, and on edge.
No, it's just that I haven't heard from Leon since he left with the Origin expedition from Kantar. And also,
Well, we've got company. You'll tell me later, Dana, darling. Meantime, be good and stay safe.
You too, Yunta.
Is everything all right? You look under the weather. We don't want one of our best and brightest to fall ill now, do we?
Bring up. Done.
I'm just a little worried, that's all. About a friend who has left on a long voyage.
And who was that lady?
Just a friend I met this summer.
You do keep some surprising company, Fraulein Roze. Anyway, I have something for you that will take your mind off things.
Oh?
Would it interest you to see the mechanisms that enabled you to perform so brilliantly here last spring?
That would be wonderful.
Good. Come and join me at the kiosk when you have a moment. But don't be too long, though.
Hey. Anything else? Nope. No. Right here.
Come and see, Fraulein.
Incredible.
Isn't it just? You see these flags? Each mechanism housing for each musical automaton on the square is represented by one of these flags.
Fascinating.
Today is the day they are being serviced. Each mechanism has been inspected by an Academy maintenance man. In theory, they're all functional. But if you like, you can go and see these maintenance men on my behalf and fetch back their respective reports. You would be doing me a big favor, as I have to inspect the piano in the kiosk. And also, it will give you a chance to take a peek at each of the automaton mechanisms.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'd be delighted.
Now, take this. You'll need it to open the maintenance room that leads to the most impressive mechanism of all, that of the clock tower.
Thank you, Frau Beckmann.
Do you have any questions before you go?
Piano?
When the mechanical orchestra played along with me last spring, it was incredible. But how does it manage to play at the same tempo as the piano? It was almost like in a dream.
Oh, it wasn't dream work, Fraulein, but clockwork. The piano is connected to the mechanism that you are going to inspect, and the hymn of Vaghen played on the keys. That's what sets the rhythm and the intensity of the performance, and that's what triggers everything else.
Do you know who built the mechanical orchestra? My father told me it didn't exist when he was young.
They were built by a strange young French inventor by the name of Vorarlberg some years ago. From what I heard, he was visiting Vaghen while en route to the east, just after the huge fire that destroyed the town. He was moved by the legend of Vera Schönberg, that virtuoso who died in the fire. So he offered his talents to rebuild the city and create the mechanical orchestra.
What happened to Vera Schönberg? My mother always says it's the saddest story.
And she's right. You probably know that Vera Schönberg was Waghen's most famous musician at the beginning of the century. But her legend was truly born the night she performed a cello concerto, right here on the square. It was also the night of the worst fire in Waghen's modern history.
And Frau Schönberg, she died in the fire, right?
She did. As well as all the other musicians and the entire audience. They were surrounded by flames, trapped on this square.
How dreadful.
Dreadful indeed. But according to the legend, Vera Schönberg kept playing Waghen's hymn until the very end. She understood they were all doomed to die, and her music brought them peace of mind during their last moments. This automaton you played with last spring was created in her image as a final tribute.
I had no idea.
Well, now you know all about the legend of Vera Schönberg. Was there something else, Fraulein Roze?
I'll go and see the maintenance team.
Good. Thank you, Fraulein.
Oh yeah, this game, yeah, NB. This game is definitely a lot slower, relaxing compared to Elix. The next game I'll be playing is going to be a lot more excitement. Next to document found in 2005 by Kate, you can relive the past. It describes document your game by Dana. Swap between, okay. The story's not too bad. The story's not too bad in here. I think we have to go back to Kate. But it's more a relaxing game. It's definitely relaxing, which is nice. It's nice, especially after
So you're the one Frau Beckmann sent, are you? Well, you can tell
He
her
looks
there's
got a
no
little
problem
intense
with this
sometimes.
automaton. Just needs cleaning up and a bit of oiling. Have a gander at the mechanism if you like.